I'm here with Steve with Table 301, one of our current employers that we work with the EB3 Unskilled Visa program. We've been working with you a couple of years, and you've gone through the process and tested your labor market, and you have workers now. So what I wanted to do a video with is you talking to or giving some advice to other employers that are thinking about this process right now. There's many that have labor shortage, but they don't know what to expect and things like that. So I wanted to get your take and how the programs work for you. But first, Steve, can you tell us a little bit about your background and the company you work with?
Sure. I've been in the restaurant business my entire life, over 40 years, and I currently oversee the restaurants under the Table 301 umbrella in my role as vice president for the company. And I've been here in Greenville for about 5.5 years now.
And how many employees do y'all have? I know.
We have approximately 350 associates, and that includes hourly associates and managers.
Okay, and you're managing all this. And so, tell me about your labor shortage problem that you had and maybe still have.
Well, the labor market has been tough for many, many years, and I think over the last 2 to 3 years, it reached the toughest, most critical time, and it was very convenient that our partnership came to be as it did. The labor market, even today, with the current situation with the coronavirus challenge we're dealing with, it's still tough because many associates haven't returned to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so tell us, how has this program worked for you before Corona and after Corona?
Well, it's worked well before and after. It was a little bit tricky at first. We didn't know exactly when we would see our first associate come through the pipeline, and we knew from the beginning of the relationship that it would take, whether it was 12 months or 18 months, and when it happens, it sort of happens. So when we got our first associate, we knew it was coming, but we had to hurry up and get ready and get ourselves ready for this program, not knowing how quickly the next associate may come on board. But it seems like the minute we got through the initial steps, it was very smooth. It was as close to a seamless process as I think we could have ever expected.
That's good. So now, you hesitated at first when I came to you and about this and talked to you, and tell me what your thoughts were then, and maybe what are some hiccups that you had?
Okay.
I want to be totally honest and straightforward about what employers to know. So tell us about some of it.
I agree that there was some hesitation because we had never done this before, and we were committing to a certain number of individuals, and none of us, especially in the restaurant world, can look into a crystal ball and determine exactly what our staffing requirements are going to be 18 months down the road. One thing we did know is that filling all of our positions had been challenging, and we felt like that was going to continue. So I would advise anybody looking at the program to simply look maybe at their attrition rate and get a comfort zone on how many people they're going to need just based on what their trends have been and what the attrition has been. As it turned out for us, yes, we were a little bit, I wouldn't even say skeptical, maybe just uncertain what our needs were going to be. In hindsight, the needs that we had were filled almost perfectly by the EB3 associates. There really have been no hiccups at all. I will say to anybody who's going to go down this path to be prepared, there's a certain amount of work that has to be done on the front end. You only have to do it once, and certain documents from a record standpoint, whether it's tax records or what have to be pulled and organized and collected and sent over to your company. And I'm sure that will give anybody a little bit of a challenge depending on how organized their paperwork is. Once we did that, we've had no hiccups. And I will tell you, the associates that have come on our team have been a true pleasure to work with. Pleasantly surprised. Every single associate, and I should know the exact number. I don't know exactly how many we have right now, but I would say between 2 and 3 dozen we probably have throughout our organization. Every single person without fail, has been committed to the program. They each have a goal, and they're doing this for a reason, and they have their immigration objectives in their mind, and they have worked consistently with us. Knock on wood, they are never even late. I mean, we have never worked with an associate that doesn't occasionally come to work late.
Yeah.
They're incredibly educated, they're articulate, they...
English not a problem?
You know, it is not a problem. We deal with other language barriers effectively, but every one of them speaks English. Some have a heavier accent,
Right.
and that's been fun for us to pick up the different accents from everybody.
Right.
That should not be a deterrent for anyone, and it just has been a pleasant surprise how productive, how patient each one of the associates has been, and the quality of the work that we've received, honestly, it exceeds what we typically see by and large, by a large amount of a typical associate that we would hire at any time during the year.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad it's worked out well with you. I know that all of our employees that have come here, our clients have come here, they've been happy, and thank you, and I'm glad. And so post-corona, it helped you. So you had a furlough for a while.
It was tough. We furloughed essentially all 350 associates. We're coming back, and we're not quite back up to that number yet.
But our people are willing to come back.
Having the EB3 associates has helped us tremendously. They've always been willing to work, and during a tougher time, getting everybody back to work, it's been a blessing having your folks with us.
Great. Well, Steve, thanks so much, and I appreciate you giving your wisdom to other employers that are looking at the program. So.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you very much.